to watch his opponent expand into the gold, and going to be pushing in with Corruptors and Lings. These Corruptors aren't going to have... Well, I definitely think maybe he's anticipating that because he saw LZGamer go with the Bio Ball, would have those medvacs, and those medvacs are a very important part of LZGamer's army. And I think once those medvacs go down, you know, the ground forces can go down pretty quickly if Slush definitely masses his Lings. And looking at this point, LZGamer still significantly ahead in the farm count, 158 to 110. I really think LZ should just make an attempt to push in at this point. He just has so many units right now, and does go off and does a drop with that. Does not want this base to go down, so maybe just waiting for a critical mass of units. Still has kind of like this kind of rogue army coming out and hitting it while he has both bases protected. He has even thrown down a planetary fortress at the gold. Does not want to lose this expansion. Corruptors come in, trying to take it out, but they're going to be met with a ton of Vikings in the air. LZGamer looking pretty good right now, able to take out Slush's expansion, and Harvester count-wise, he is matching, still slightly pulling ahead because of the mules, and about to mine out his main. Slush, meanwhile, has taken his third expansion as he's about to finish mining out his main as well, and is now gone with the Baneling's Nest, having detected that his opponent is mostly not having gone mech, but mostly this Marine Marauder ball with a ton of air support too. So a good mix of units by LZGamer, although once those Banelings come out, they're just gonna rip. If they can get in on this and burrow or pop out, they can really tear this army to shreds. Now LZGamer gonna be pushing out, finally taking out that Zergling. That Zergling was there for a very long time, giving Slush a really good view of the entire middle section of the map, and allowing Slush now with a ton of Banelings. Looking at the unit count, 54 Banelings, 49 Zerglings, and 5 investors with 8 Corruptors in the air, I think, to try to take out the medvacs. Right now, LZGamer kind of testing the grounds and now moving back, not sure where his opponent is perhaps, or maybe just waiting for an attack to happen on the planetary fortress. Going to be pushing up this side. Army is kind of stacked on both sides, and right now this should be interesting. LZGamer, if he pushes up the wrong side, might just see both his expansions go down at this point. And I think he wants to try to take out, has a sense that his opponent is still actively trying to expand like he is. But army is on opposite side of the map. Finally detecting something there. Does see with the sensor tower, he was able to pick up where it was. But these Banelings just run in and destroy that planetary fortress with a few left. They're going to run in and just fry all these SCVs. Everything just exploding. The Baneling attack running in. LZGamer realizing there's not very much he could do about it. It's just going to push his forces in. Really wants to take out this expansion. I think thought that Slush was going to try to retake this one, but kind of finding these other ones here. Meanwhile, Slush is just going to be massing his forces right now as well, and running everything in. There goes the fungal growth, and the Banelings are just going to pop all over the place. We have the Corruptors trying to take down the Vikings. Probably not going to happen, but the ground forces just acid spewing the Baneling blood, frying everything that there is. And here come the Vikings have landed to do some sort of damage, but with the Speedlings there doing all this around, they probably going to fall down pretty quickly. So good army trade by both sides. If we look at the army count right now, LZGamer still had 129 to 93, but he suffered a severe economic loss by losing this gold expansion. And these Speedlings just going to run in and clean up, and it looks like this command center going to go down pretty quickly as well. The Marine ball is still coming in. At this point, I think LZGamer is going to have difficulty switching, just has way too many barracks, and just adds a ton of barracks, so he can replenish his forces really fast. If we look at it, he's already back to 130, but these Banelings are just going to pose a huge problem for him if he can't pick them off. Doesn't have tanks, just I think he only has that one factory pumping out anything, so hopefully this build will hold up for him right now. Going to make a second strong push right now. 139 of 117. Slush is starting to catch up in production. He has multiple bases and is starting to saturate. And as many as LZGamer is taking out, LZ now going to be taking the bottom expansion, but really only mining off 2 bases. And here he goes. We're going to see a pretty big battle right now. Slush is going to be rolling and trying to figure out the best way to take out this army. Most of these Vikings are pretty badly injured. Oh no, if they run in here, they're just going to pop. And fungal growth going down again. A deadly combination. Fungal growth with the banelings just frying everything on the ground. Explosions everywhere. The only thing surviving at this point were the medvac ships. As Slush, it doesn't look like Slush kind of decided. It doesn't look like Slush reinvested in those corruptors at all. Right now, Slush just using his speedlings, going to be hunting down, knows his opponent has some sort of expansion somewhere else. These speedlings are going to die pretty quickly to that planetary fortress if they try to run in. Poor little LCV is going to get caught off. Meanwhile, LZGamer is going to be building some more marauders, and there's really just no armor right now, but this baneling is just exploding them as quickly as possible. Looks like he's about to do some sort of drop on the base. Slush is going to be moving in with a ton of speedlings. Let's see if these speedlings, there's probably about 40, a whole bunch of them. Going to be morphing several into banelings down here. These can run in and pop this planetary fortress whenever Slush pleases, probably just waiting for the right opportunity to do so. Looks like LZGamer has loaded up those medevacs and dropped them off. Going to be taking on this expansion, but is it going to be enough? Still very, very far behind at this point in harvester count, and going to be very difficult for him to catch up. So Slush right now having pretty solid map control, is losing his expos, but I don't think LZGamer can keep trading 1 for 1 or 1 for 2, because Slush is just going to keep throwing them back down, not afraid to just keep throwing more expansions down, and these speedlings just going to do so much damage. In a second, LZGamer going to be caught off guard right here. Looks like those banelings did run in and pop all the SCVs when that attack was going on. So great move by Slush. Trying to morph in more right now. These banelings going to get caught off guard. LZGamer finally, I think, going to have the advantage right now. Finally catching Slush off guard. Going to be popping these banelings before they're about to roll out, and moving, trying to macro some of his units. Still getting that fungal growth thrown down, but yes, with all the medvacs in the air, LZGamer looks like he finally has the upper hand against Slush, although he's still behind, and Slush has transitioned over to Ultralisk, this Ultralisk army. If Slush can get those Zerglings back out, it's just going to be so devastating to this ground force. The splash damage from those pincers and the combination of the Ultralisk with the fungal growth is just going to wipe this army out pretty quickly. It's a good composition by LZGamer, but I think he really needs some. At this point, Slush hasn't gone any air at all, you know, so a lot of Banshees could help right now, as they could deal damage without taking too much. One thing I haven't seen Slush use, I think he should have enough energy for it, is that he really hasn't been using the Infested Terrans, and those Infested Terrans could take down a lot of the air units and also provide a lot more firepower too. I think he has more than enough to cast at least 1 fungal growth and several Infested Terrans. Right now, LZGamer trying to take out this expansion, 2 shots it with all the Marauders, but fungal growth going down, and here come those huge Ultralisks, and the splash damage from their pincers just slicing through the ground forces of LZGamer. Now fungal growth going down on the medvacs as well. One of them just pops, and they're a very low HP. The speedling's just going to be running around at this point. LZGamer just did not have enough units to pump out his income tab. While it's still pretty decent, he's just lost a significant amount of forces, and I think is trying to replenish as much as he can, but has been pretty much behind the whole game. At this point, looking at the economy, the spending of Slush, you can just see he's just mined so much more minerals, and even though he might be just tossing away these banelings, exploding them, not very economically, has been so far ahead. And here we go, the baneling's just gonna take a few shots, but boom, the planetary fortress goes down, and the Ultralisks run in just to clean up. more. LZGamer now in a lot of trouble, is about to mine out of his expansion and really only has one last push. Meanwhile, it looks like Slush has still on the gold expansion, decided to give up on these other two and just going to be working on securing this one down as much as possible. Looks like he moved all of his all of his spine crawlers right over here, so LZGamer now forced to lift off on his primary base, and I think going to be trying to retake the gold expansion at this point, but too many Ultralisks, too many Lings, the Banelings and the Infestors. I think it's going to be too much to handle. Looking at the income, the army tab right now, just Slush significantly ahead. The tables have turned, and I think this might be the last push for LZGamer. Army's now just shifting aside, trying to figure out where his opponent is. Slush taking this tower, very important from the whole game, knows where his opponent roughly is, does see that command center. I think he does detect that his opponent isn't mining very much right now. Yeah, looking at the income tab, LZGamer is behind, so Slush just waiting for his opportunity, massing up his forces right now at 148. LZ gonna be trying to push, but once these units push in, Corruptors in the air. I think he was going for Broodlords. It looked like he just morphed out of something, but I think these Medivacs are just gonna fall down and pop as soon as they touch him. The Broodlords just trying to hunt down those Medivacs as soon as possible. Army's trading sides here, but I think as they run up the ramp, LZ might see now that there are just a ton of, and here we go. Slush runs in to do some attack on the Expo. Once this Expo's down, LZ won't have anything left. Here's the final push from LZ, taking out this Expo yet again. But once these forces converge on them, it's not going to be good for LZ. And now just trying to run away some of his those Medivacs going down very quickly. Here comes the surround from the Zerglings. Ton of Ultras coming in. Zerglings from all sides. Fungal growth going down. The units can't move, and I'm seeing a GG from LZ pretty soon. GG from LZGamer. GG from Slush. So great game played by both sides. Slush definitely held an economic advantage, didn't allow those Hellions to harass him this time, just plunked it down and had a really good sense of where his opponent was and what he was trying to do. So a win for Root Gaming over Evil Genius, and this has been another JCS broadcast. I'm signing off.